Hello, I'm Louise from BeHealing.com, and this is the new moon reading. So I'm changing the format. You're going to have to let me know what you think about this. Instead of doing the individual new moon readings for each star sign, what I'm going to do this time is do a more lengthy overall general for all signs new moon reading in a lot of detail, and then at the end I'm going to go into the specifics for each star sign, so a shorter version for each star sign. So stick around till the end to get the information. Now you might want to look at your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign too. If you don't know what those are, then there's lots of websites. You can put your birthday in, your birth time in, and you'll get back the details of what those particular signs are for you. And they all should resonate with you a little bit. Now, new moon. So we've got a new moon on the 24th or the 25th of January 2020, depending on where you are on the planet, of course. And so new moons, they're all about planting seeds. It's about setting things off. And so my new moon readings, they're all about how we can get into alignment with what it is that we want to manifest in our lives, what we want to create in our lives. And so getting in alignment is about being on the same page as your higher self so that you can allow those things in. And so our creative superpowers, they are our conscious mind, our thoughts, our beliefs, our focus, and our emotional energy, so our emotional state, our feelings. And so those two together are our superpowers. That's how we create all of our experiences in our lives. So my new moon readings, they're going to what we can change in those two areas of our life to create what it is that we want. So, okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do in this new format, because we're in an Aquarius new moon, so what better time to switch things up, is do like my weekly reads, go into the different aspects, different areas of our life, but in a new moon kind of way. If you're interested in a private new moon reading, there'll be links popping up there throughout this video, and so you can book in for one of those. They're $20 off at the moment. I get all of my readings out within 24 hours of booking them as well. Okay. So, generally, what has everyone got going on this new moon with consciousness? And so, thoughts, feelings, right? So, this new moon, it's all about switching our mindset from focusing on things that are going wrong, focus on like fighting fires, on things that are problems in our lives and fixing those, to success and having a good time. And so it can be really bizarre when you make this switch, or when you're trying to make this switch, because a lot of people, like society in general, wants to focus on the bad stuff. You only need to watch the news to realize that they want to focus on the bad stuff and then try and fight that or fix that. But that stuff never kind of works. It adds energy. It adds our focus, our creative energy to the problem. And instead, we need to move away from that and focus on our personal successes and having a good time within ourselves. And as you start doing that, people around you are going to say, oh, you need to sort this out. You need to take responsibility. You can't just sit back. You can't just put your head in the sand. But once you do that, like, you won't want to stop doing it once you reap the benefits of it, because it's your creative power. Your focus is your creative power. And so you do want to be focused on the good things in life. Now, that's not to say not to focus on the negative things, to turn a blind eye to it. It could be things are showing up in your life over and over again. And if you're turning a blind eye to it rather than dealing with it, rather than saying no to that annoying person, or, turning away from those abusive people, or saying no to that drama, we've got to listen to the negative stuff, but not focus on it, not be focused on it so much. Deal with it in the moment and move away. Get focused back on our success. So that's for everybody, all signs, focusing on our success. What about our emotional state this new moon? What do we all need to... I don't like this. I don't like when this comes up in readings. What do we all need to change within our emotional state to get in line? This new moon, we've got patience. Oh, it's one of the worst lessons. But we need to have patience and accept what is. Now, this is because there's a lag time in manifestation. And so there's a flow of giving and receiving, right? And if we're sharing our gifts with the world in a big way, if we're giving, then we receive back from that, but not immediately. We receive back from that in the future. There's always this lag time, and we don't get instant manifestations, not unless it's something really simple, something that we've been allowing and aligned with for a long time. Is it an instant manifestation? And so often people can be giving and then can get worn out with giving when they're not open to receiving, and not realizing that they're going to receive down the line from that once they learn to open up to that receiving. And so this is saying that flow is happening, but you need to have patience with it, and you need to accept the way that you're holding yourself back from receiving from that. And so new moons are about manifestations, planting seeds for manifestations. This is our feelings about, it's that frustration, it's the disappointment, it's the impatience that we feel when we believe that things should manifest instantly, or we believe that if we give some energy out today, we should be receiving back today. It's something that I've, especially in my business, I know happens. It's like, if I'm making these videos, if I'm helping people, if I'm doing Psychic Cafe every day, I don't receive back from that immediately. I receive back from that in the future, once you're all getting to know me, once you know my reading style. So it's very, very rare that things manifest instantly. But if I just keep on doing it, then I get the benefits down the line. And it's the same for everybody here. So you've got to develop that patience with yourself, acceptance that you're receiving back as much as you are allowing yourself to receive back in this moment, and that things will happen down the line. So what about love life? So how do we need to change? All need to change our focus, our mindset around our love lives this new moon. Interesting. We've got self-love and let go of the past. So in our love lives, whether you're single, whether you're attached, at the moment, we all need to do this. We all need to let go of the past, let go of that baggage. Of course, we've all got baggage. It makes our personalities. Baggage in work, baggage in relationships, baggage in everything, that develops who we are, all the baggage, all the stuff that we pick up along the way. And the key to relationships is changing our minds about ourselves. It's like we've got to love ourselves before other people can love us. They're always going to be a reflection of us. And so releasing that baggage, letting go of the past, just being in the present moment, and then giving ourselves what we need, finding that love within ourselves for ourselves, is going to attract, it's going to help you attract that love that you really want, whether it's in a current partner or whether it's somebody new. It's going to attract it. So important. And I know it's such a cliche as well, you need to love yourself first. But when you actually start giving yourself what you need in your life, then you attract similar kinds of people toward you. So, for example, if you're not getting on with, say, your career or your business, and you're not empowering yourself in that way, you may be waiting for a new partner to come along who will sort out your financial situation, or who will sort that out for you so that you don't need to. You're going to attract someone that won't sort that out. You're going to attract someone that is in a similar situation than you, or someone that's not going to help you either. But if you were to change that mindset and then get on with loving yourself, get on with your career, get on with your business, get on with creating things for yourself, for your own life, then you will attract someone that wants to help and give you plenty too. So once you get into this mindset of, actually, I deserve it, and I deserve having plenty, of creating a business, or improving my career because I want to receive more back from it. I want to be more of a whole person in my work. Something like that. That is loving yourself more. It's going to attract a better kind of partner, or better things out of your partner too. And so I'm feeling that this is a core part of this new moon, is about relationships, and about doing this, about taking the pressure off relationships, stopping trying to get those things from other people, and start fulfilling those, whatever it is we need in our lives, within ourselves first, and then other people are going to give us that same thing too. Interesting. So what about our excuse me, what about our emotional state in our love lives? Yeah. Okay, so I'm picking up this frustration, like we had in the general part. It's frustration, it's impatience, that kind of thing. Getting impatient and frustrated in not getting the love that we want. from other people, not meeting the right people, that kind of thing. And this is saying like we can stop that impatience, and that we can surrender that and have what we want when we start giving ourselves what we want. The love that you're looking for, it's yourself. Start looking in the mirror for that love. And what that means is it's not about, falling in love with yourself in a dreamy kind of way, trying to get those feelings for yourself. It's about looking after yourself properly, doing the best for yourself, diet, exercise, working on your career, working on your finances, that kind of thing. Once you start really looking after yourself in that way, putting yourself first, let go of trying to get it from someone else, surrender it, that's when you're going to get what you want. So this is letting go of the change in feelings is more, it's from victimhood, it's from trying to get it outside of yourself, from victimhood or frustration or impatience to empowerment to determination to do it for yourself, and that's going to bring the relationships that you want. So I'm feeling like this new moon is going to be a shift in relationships for a lot of people. If you've been relying on a relationship, it might be time to spend time apart. And I don't mean break up. It could be that for some people. I don't mean break up. I mean, just look after your own life, be on your own life. You can be together with someone and both be looking after your own life. You don't, and your own life paths. And that brings a lot to a relationship when we do that, You get together in the evening after you've both been moving forward in on your life paths, and you've got a lot to share with each other then. What about our work? What about our mindset changes this new moon in our work? Okay, we've got overwhelming and we've got play. This is seriousness. A lot of us have been taught that we need to be serious in our work, that it's a serious thing, that we need to be serious, that it's not about play. But then all of us experience that when there's someone playful, we get so much more out of their work. So for example, you go to a restaurant. I know I give this example so many times, but it's one that everyone has experienced. You go to a restaurant and the waiter that comes to serve you at the table is very playful. Now that changes your experience completely of going out to eat. When somebody brings play, is very playful in their work, it changes everything. Yeah. And when there's a company that does that, is very playful too, it changes everything. Is that easygoing, playful energy. Bringing that into your work by changing your mindset that it's okay, that it's actually better than seriousness. So if you've had that belief that you need to be serious, you need to be straight-faced and serious and in your work, know that that is a lower vibration, that it's not going to get you what you want in your work. It might be pleasing to people that have that same belief, but it's not pleasing to customers, it's not pleasing to your colleagues, it's not really pleasing to human beings, right? And so shift that belief about seriousness to being playful, and your work will change completely from this overwhelm. Things will start working for you. Interesting. So what about our feelings? Oh, nice. How should we change our emotional state around our work to have our work working better for us this new moon? We've got reach out and warmth. This is about reaching out, open-hearted, reaching out with the warmth of our heart, connecting with people, being truthful with people. This is about sharing who you really are and your struggles and things like that. This is about not being that perfectionist anymore, not trying to portray this image of being perfect, but portraying this image of being human, open-hearted, warm-hearted, connecting with people. And that is going to bring what you want in your work, whether it's through customers or through colleagues, whoever you're working with, reaching out to them with this open heart. As I said, it's like this new moon is about bringing the humanness into your work. Bringing the humanness into your work now. Because even if people have had all of these beliefs about work being serious and if you bring that humanity into it, or that you should be perfect, you know, you could have that belief that you should be perfect and you've been trying to live up to that. If you bring your humanness into it, then people feel that connection and people will open up, especially when you're in business and I've got clients. It's going to work so much better. So this is about opening the heart. It's about going from that feeling of being closed, being regimented, being serious, to being warm, open-hearted, connecting with people, being more vulnerable, being more real. Reaching out with who you really are. And of course, that's a big theme for 2020. So no wonder it's the foundation of our first new moon for this year of 2020, is because we're all getting shifted into our life purpose now. And we can only do that when we're being our authentic selves, not when we're putting up masks or fronts and filters and things like that. You know, it's when we're being our true selves. Okay, so that's work. What about money? How should we change our minds about money to start bringing on more of that good stuff? Being more relaxed about it. Yeah, so any negative focus that we have on money, and by negative focus I mean any thoughts that we have when we're focusing on money that don't feel good, that shows that it's negative. When it doesn't feel good, like worry, then that is not a good focus. That's the time to relax and surrender and focus on the self instead. Of course, when your focus on money does feel good, then that's a good time to be focused on it. But it really doesn't help. It sends us in a downward spiral when we're focusing on money when it doesn't feel good. That's a pushing away. That's the law of attraction things showing you that it's actually you're pushing money away from you in that moment when you're worried about it. And it's a natural thing to worry about money. So many people are doing it, but you've really got to stop doing that and to focus on something else when you're doing that. And so get into this relaxed state, focusing on yourself when you get into that worry about money. This is about changing your mind this new moon about how money works. Money's an energy. It comes to us when we are sharing our gifts with the world in a bigger way. It's all about energy. Money won't come back to you when you're not doing anything for it. You can't just wish for it. You've got to be sharing the resources that are inside of yourselves. And your resources from the low level of your time and your energy, like physical time and energy, you can trade that for money. Those are resources that are inside of yourself. To higher level things like ideas, your talents, your skills, things that you can use in a bigger way to reach more people. So for example, if you had an idea for an amazing product and you made that product and then you made it and then you put it out into the world to reach a lot of people, something that a lot of people will want, you're going to get a lot of money back from that. But if you don't recognize those ideas and move forward on those ideas and put them out in the world in a big way, if, on the other hand, you're only seeing value in your time and your effort, then you're going to get a job and just get a little bit of money for a job because you're only trading those things. So this new moon, it's about realizing that, knowing that you have these resources in yourself that you can trade for money, the higher level resources in yourself, and being relaxed about that, focusing on that, not focusing on the money itself, because focusing on the money itself, you know, the money's going to come when you're doing that kind of stuff, when you're sharing your gifts and the resources that you have within yourself with the world in a bigger way. Yeah, as I said, this is like 2020. 2020 is the time to really step into your life purpose and be sharing your gifts with the world. It's the year for doing that for sure. Now, what about our feelings about money? I've already kind of gone into that, but how do we need to change our emotional state around money? This doubt. It's the focus on abundance. It's like it really doesn't help. The focus on the money doesn't help us. It's more often than not, it feels horrible. The only time it doesn't feel horrible is if, say, you are focused on maybe saving for a holiday or something, and you're feeling excited about it, or manifesting money for a holiday, and then you work hard, or you do a bit of overtime, or you get more clients for that, and then it gets a little bit exciting. But things like focusing on paying bills and stuff, it feels horrible, and you can doubt that It can, doubt can creep in. You don't really trust abundance. It's like life isn't about money. You don't need to focus on it. It happens anyway. When you're going for it, when you're being yourself, when you're focused on the things that are inside of you, what you want to create in the world, your gifts, your talents, what you want to put out in the world, the money comes back from that when you're just going for it. Totally different energy. And so, yeah, the guidance for this new moon is like, stop making life be about money. It's not. It's not at all. And I know we need money for everything pretty much, right? And so it's a really core part of our lives. But that doesn't mean you need to focus on it all the time, especially when your focus is making you feel bad, when it's making you doubt, when it's making you worried. Of course, it's our focus, it's what we're thinking about that creates our feelings. And this is saying you've got negative feelings about money, no matter what level you're at. And if you're focusing on what you want to go for, all the other things that you want to go for in your life, then that is going to lift you. It's going to lift your vibration, and the money's going to flow from that anyway. Remembering that money is an energy, and it comes back to you when you're sharing the resources that you've got inside of yourself in a bigger way to the world. The more people you reach with that, then the more money is going to come back to you. It doesn't magically come from just sitting in your room doing nothing, watching Netflix and wishing and having vision boards and things like that. It doesn't come from that. You actually need to share the energy that you've got within yourself to receive the energy of money back in a bigger way. Wow. Okay, so that's the general part over with. Now I'm going to go into specifics. For Aries, first of all, what do Aries in particular need to change in their mindset in order to create the life that they want this time? So Aries, you need to stop the worry, stop the fighting, stop trying to fix things, detach from that, and then be okay about stuff. So there's things that you've manifested already in your life, and it's just a result, Aries, of your past focus. And instead of keeping on focus on that stuff that you didn't like, keep on trying to fix it, keep on looking backwards like that, just let go of that, detach yourself from it, be okay that you did that, and then get focused on what it is that you want in your lives now. So Aries, you need a complete change in focus from the negative stuff to the positive stuff, pretty much like we got in the general part for everybody, but it's in particular for you, Aries. Also, what about your feelings, Aries? Aries, your emotional state. Simplify your life, and simplify your feelings too. Like make it simply be about better feelings, things that give you better feelings. So don't sabotage yourself, because that makes you feel worse and worse and worse, right? Sometimes we can think that if we eat that tub of ice cream, or if we just go and get completely drunk, or if we take those drugs, or if we, walk out of work, those sabotages that we have, that it's going to make us feel better. But you've got to look at the net gain. It's not a net gain, it's a net loss when you do that kind of thing. And so this is saying, Aries, you've got to make it simpler, make your feelings simpler. What will make you feel better in the moment? What's going to be a net gain? What's going to be a net gain in your feelings? What's going to make you feel better in the long term rather than the short term sabotages? Right. Taurus, what about you? What do you need to change in your mindset? This new moon. Patience? Oh no. I'm Taurus. I just was saying how much I hate the patience. I hate the patience lessons, but here we go. This is what this new moon is about. Being heard and patience with that. So as I said, there's always a lag time to manifestations, and if you're being impatient and you're not respecting that lag time, Taurus, then you can be giving some energy out into the universe one day, and then if it doesn't manifest that day or the next day, you can totally sabotage it and shut down. And the universe was about to deliver it to you the day after that, or the week after that, or the month after that. It's like you are heard. What you're wanting is heard, but you've got to wait for it. You've got to be patient for it to manifest, because there's always a lag time. So be more patient. Change your mind about that. Don't believe that this should be instant manifestation, because that very rarely happens. It happens sometimes, but it very rarely happens. There's usually a lag time, Taurus. Now, what about your feelings, Taurus? Freedom and peace. So, if you felt like your freedom has been curtailed, if you're feeling trapped or victimhood, you need to change that to being at peace with where you're at, so that you can claim that freedom that you want. And so, it's the way that you're thinking about it, whether you have freedom, the way that you're thinking about that is making you feel bad or good, right? And so you can claim your freedom now, Taurus, just by being at peace with what's going on. So big changes for Taurus in breaking free from negative things that have been going on, that have been causing you negative feelings, by making peace, being at peace with it. Gemini, what about you? Mindset changes for Gemini is this new moon. We've got be artistic and is it true? So it's your beliefs about those resources that I was saying about, the resources that are inside of you, Gemini. I'm hearing that you've got limitations. You're like, okay, so the resources inside of myself are my time and my energy, my physical energy. And I've had a few ideas, but that's as far as it goes. I don't have many talents, and I don't have many skills that are worth anything. And it's like, no, Gemini, no, that's that belief. It's just not true. You've got so many more resources in you, so many more resources in you than that. And so, time to start valuing yourself, Gemini. Valuing all the artistic, the talents, the skills that you've got. Start recognizing them. Start challenging the beliefs. Maybe you had a teacher or a parent or somebody in your life that told you weren't good at things, that you didn't have any talent, that you weren't going to amount to much, something like that. And it's like, it's not true. It's not true, Gemini. Stop believing in that and open up to your talents, the resources that you do have inside of yourself this new moon. And feelings for Gemini. Oh, yeah. Vulnerability. So you're feeling vulnerable, Gemini. Those things that make you feel vulnerable. And I know a lot of Geminis. And I recognize this in Geminis. You probably do in yourself, Gemini, is that you don't like stuff that makes you feel vulnerable. And you can pretend that it's not even true. You can go into your logical self, Gemini. You know you can. And this is saying that needs to stop now. You need to embrace that vulnerability. You need to grow as a person and be open. You don't have to be perfect all the time. And you don't need to portray that you're perfect and you know everything, Gemini. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be human. Remember, this new moon is about being more humane. It's about allowing people to be human, allowing yourself to be human too. You have got feelings, not just thoughts, Gemini. You've got feelings too. And so this is saying, this new moon for Geminis, it's about stopping that, shutting down your emotions when you feel vulnerable. Just drawing a line in the sand this time, Gemini, and say, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to allow myself to be human so I can actually connect with people and grow in my life. Cancer, what about you? What about your mindset? Your consciousness? Cancer. Oh, meditate and flowing. So this is saying don't overthink things, Cancer. If you are trying to focus too much, trying to think things through too much, trying to take control of it too much, this is saying like meditate and get into flow. Let your let that focus go, let that control go. Allow the universe to step in. Know that a lot of the time when you're thinking and when you're trying to focus, you're actually stopping the flow. If you're open like a child, very few thoughts, very few controls going on in your life, you're open to receiving way more. The flowing card, it's about flowing good coming into your life, you allowing yourself to receive. So Cancer, this is about you allowing yourself to receive by not thinking so much. Meditate instead, clear your mind. Let yourself get into that flow. Let yourself receive. Let the universe do the work. You don't need to do so much of the work, Cancer, inside of yourself. You don't need to do so much of the work. Cancer, what about your feelings? Your feelings of success or not, and of who you are. It's like you're questioning yourself all the time. Don't do that, Cancer. Don't question yourself. You have as much right to be on this planet as everyone else. You have as much right to success as everyone else. You have got so many gifts, Cancer, so many gifts, but you need to acknowledge that and feel it. Feel your successes. And so don't sweep them under the carpet. When things go well, acknowledge it, celebrate it, know that you did that. That was your success. You did that. So it's time to start believing in yourself that you have created these things, Cancer, acknowledging that, feeling successful. So get yourself focused on those successes, and you're going to start feeling much better about yourself and about your life, Cancer. Leos, what about your mindset? Leos, you got to be willing to be supportive, right? So this is for you, Leos, that have kind of got really frustrated that you're not getting back what you want, what you've been asking for. You've been giving and giving and giving and doing, and you think that you should have got more back from that. And it's kind of jaded you. Maybe you've got a bit resentful about it. Maybe you just want to stop and throw in the towel. And this is saying, carry on willing to be supportive, carry on willing to put your energy out there, of course. As I said in the money part of it, you get back, not just money, but any kind of energy, love energy, all kinds of things when you're willing to put your energy out there. And this is saying, Leo, be open to continuing to give, and also at the same time, looking at your blocks to receiving too. Because if you're not receiving back what you want from it, what you think you deserve from it, then that means that you've got a block to receiving. So yeah, just be willing to keep on putting that energy out there. Don't get jaded, Leo. What about your feelings this new moon, Leo? We've got I am that and follow my knowing. Um, yeah. Uh, this is about feeling centered in yourself, knowing who you are, feeling like you belong, feeling there's a place for you. So maybe, Leo, you've been feeling like, what is this all for? Maybe you're going through some kind of existential crisis or some midlife crisis or something like that, wondering what the hell are you doing here? Things aren't working. Like, why are you here anyway? And yeah, not a good energy to be in, but sometimes it's good to hit that rock bottom kind of thing so that you do get some real clear answers about who you are. So for those of you Leos that have hit that rock bottom, that are having that existential kind of crisis, you are going to be led to who you really are, through your intuition, of course. Your higher self will be answering those questions that you're asking about life and who you are at the moment. It's going to be answering those questions for you through your intuition, through ideas, through um, you know, giving you an idea about where to go, and you're going to meet people. It's going to open up aspects of yourself, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, if you're going through that crisis at the moment, you've got those bad feelings, you are going to be drawn out of it by your higher self. So this is like, not really that you can change your feelings in this moment, just go with that process. You are going to bounce back from that bad feeling that you've got at the moment of things falling apart, Leo. Leos, I know. Virgo, there's a silver lining though. There's a silver lining, Leos, don't worry. You're being let out of that. Virgos, what about your mindset, Virgo? But is it true in gratitude? Oh, this is about negative mindset. It's about, being a bit pessimistic. Have you been a bit pessimistic, Virgo? Can you be a bit pessimistic, pedantic, that kind of thing? Yeah, is it true? Maybe you're being pessimistic or pedantic about something that you've got a perspective on and it's not even true. I remember this years and years ago when I was a teenager. This person was as a party that I had, and they wanted a cup of tea or something. I remember making them a cup of tea, and this is back in the UK. And the milk, it was skimmed milk that was in the fridge, and I put it in, and they got really upset about that, and they started going on about things, and it just seemed so bizarre to me that they were really pedantic about our choice. It wasn't even my choice, it was my mum, but her choice in milk. and really, really quite upset about that. And I'm picking up, there's something like this. It's like your point of view is your point of view, and it's okay. You can have your point of view, but if you're focused on everyone else doing it differently and fighting them, that's not really helping you, Virgo. So let your point of view be okay about you, but you don't need to get validation from everyone else. You don't need everyone else to do the same thing to validate you. It's okay for it just to be true for you, and be grateful that you're making that right choice for yourself in your milk or whatever it is, Virgo. So yeah, just be careful around that this new moon, about being pedantic about your point of view, wanting everyone else to comply with that, when we're all different. We don't need to comply. We can all be different, and it's okay that we're all different. What about your feelings, Virgo? Your emotional state this new moon? We've got move away and initiate. Oh, you've got feelings around change, Virgo. Maybe you're feeling maybe you get very unnerved and fearful when change is happening, so much so that you don't want to initiate the change that you know that you want. So this is like, have you ever seen a child who's learning how to swim, being taught how to jump in the pool, and they're very hesitant, the fear, you can see the fear and then the courage and then the fear and the courage. I'm picking up that that's where you're at. You're at that side of the pool, but you've got taken a step back. You're a bit fearful of like initiating things, the things that you know you want to do. You know it's going to be fun to swim. You know it's going to be fun to jump in the pool, but you're really scared of it too. You're on the ledge at the moment and you keep on stepping back from it, and it's that fear. This is like moving away from the fear, allowing change to happen. You know that fear, it doesn't last for very long. If you just get to the edge of the pool and you let your courage take over, once you've jumped in, the fear's gone. It's gone in a split second as soon as you jump. And so this is saying, Virgo, it's okay to jump. It's okay to make those changes. Let your courage take over from your fear. Libra, what about your mindset this new moon? Relationships, right? Relationships for Libra, of course. You're all about relationships, aren't you? Trusting yourself that you are okay. Like, you are lovable when you're being yourself. You don't need to pretend that you don't get angry sometimes. You don't need to pretend that you're all perfect. You're lovable as you are. It's okay to be human. Bit of a theme about this new moon, isn't that? It's okay to be human. It's okay to be yourself. Trust yourself. Trust that you're lovable. The right person for you, the right intimate relationship for you, is going to love you as you are, not who you're pretending to be to try and get love from the other people. Yeah? And so this is about allowing the right people into your life by being yourself and trusting that you're good enough as you are, Libra. You don't need to pretend to be anyone else. Interesting. So change your mind about about being good enough as you are. Then what about your feelings? Libra, oh, this is like, you are loved. You are loved. If you're feeling like a lack of love, like you haven't been receiving love from people, so many people love you. So many people love you, Libra, and you need to start looking there and feeling that love and letting it in, not focusing on the people that don't love you, not focusing on those trolls, Don't focus on the people that criticize you, that leave negative reviews or negative comments on your Facebook, whatever. Don't focus on those. Focus on all those people that love you. Human beings, we are negatively focused. Our subconscious is negatively focused, and it's our ego that's negatively focused. It's to try and protect us. But it makes us voice our criticism more than we'll voice our gratitude. And so this means, if you're taking what everyone is saying about you as at face value, so you're thinking, I'm hated by the world more than I'm loved, it's not even true. It's like, for every one hater, there's 100 lovers that aren't expressing it, because we don't tend to do that. We tend to be negatively focused. So you are loved. Feel that love. You are loved, Libra. Feel it. Scorpio, mindset changes? you think you're being judged, but really you're judging yourself, and you need to appreciate yourself. So, Scorpio, if you want to be appreciated by everyone rather than judged by everyone, you've got to stop judging yourself too. When we get judged and it affects us, when someone judges us and it affects us emotionally, that means that we have that same judgment inside of ourselves. When somebody judges us and it doesn't affect us emotionally, that shows that we don't have that same judgment inside of ourselves. So it's when you're reacting to it, Scorpio, that's when you're believing it in yourself. So ask yourself, how is it that I believe this? How is it I'm judging myself in this same way? And then start appreciating yourself instead. And then you're going to get that appreciation from other people. And of course, there's always going to be judges. There's always going to be haters. But it's just going to wash over you. It's like you're not going to take it emotionally if you're not having that self-judgment. If someone called you a cardboard box, you wouldn't emotionally react to that. But if someone was to call you selfish, you might react to that. Everybody, I'm pretty sure that everybody has a little bit of am I being selfish kind of angst going on within them. Yeah, so everyone can relate to that. Scorpio, what about your feelings? Lighten up, play, be more playful. Right, this is maybe you need to let go of the serious stick for a while and be playful. So life isn't so serious, Scorpio. It doesn't need to be so serious. I don't know why you've got the right card though. Maybe you need to write down your feelings. Maybe, yeah, this is a call, Scorpio, for you to journal your thoughts and your feelings from this new moon or around this new moon, so that you can see how serious you're being and feeling, and to switch to that playful thing like we got in the general read there. Sagittarius, what about your mindset? Okay, joyful moves. Now, this is about believing that you deserve to make decisions for yourself, changes in your life, decisions about changes in your life that are going to bring you more joy. So more joy being the key to this. So Sagittarius, if you've been thinking about making decisions in your life to bring you, say, more money, or to bring you the partner that you want, when you're getting more specific like that, this is saying around this new moon that's the wrong focus to have. You need to be focused on the more general things like joy and freedom and stuff, but joy in particular. And so it could be that right now you're thinking of making decisions to make changes in your life, Sagittarius, that aren't really aligned with your higher self, that aren't aligned with joy. And so if you just simplify it to what would be a joyful decision, what would be a decision to bring more joy into my life, rather than the specifics of what you think will give you a better life, then you're going to be aligned and the universe will bring something in. So for example, Sagittarius, if you've been focused on a certain amount of money, right? You want to create a certain amount of money in your business. That focus isn't going to get you what you want. It's not going to get you the best, anyway, of what is available from the universe. But if you were to focus on just having a lot of fun and a lot of joy in your business and bringing joy to your customers in your business, that is going to bring that amount of money that you've been focused on and a hell of a lot more too, a hell of a lot more. So yeah, it's your decisions. Your decisions got to be for joy, Sagittarius. What about your feelings, Sag? Okay, Sagittarius, maybe you've been a little bit too easygoing, letting people into your life, letting any kind of behavior into your life, not very strong boundaries. This new moon, it's about you creating boundaries, being firmer in those boundaries, be firmer in saying no, about choosing, like we said, choosing the changes for joy. This is like, you've got to listen to your feelings, especially when around other people in your life. Stop just like being a punching bag or accepting anything into your life or anyone into your life. Notice how it's making you feel. So maybe you've got people in your life that are making you feel drained. Like, listen to that and then have a firm boundary to that. So this is Sagittarius, this is saying take responsibility for your feelings more, Don't try and change your feelings. Listen to your feelings. When something makes you feel bad, it's time for you to say a no to that. Start getting your feedback from your feelings and making decisions based on that. Of course, that makes more sense now. Making decisions for your changes, for your joy, you've got to start listening to your feelings, especially your negative feelings, and actually making good decisions for yourself based on that, to say no to those things. Just stop having those things in your life now, Sag. Capricorn, what about your mindset? This moment, talk to someone. Oh, okay. So your mindset. Capricorn, you've got this gift of seeing the bigger picture, especially about you and your life. And sometimes that's a really great thing. Of course it is. And sometimes it works against you. And this is saying this new moon is about turning away from how that works against you. And it works against you when you are applying it to other people rather than being in the moment. So what I mean by that is, imagine, right, you bump into an old school friend, right, you haven't seen for years and years, and that school friend says, you pulled my hair and you slapped me. Like, straight away they bring up stuff from the past instead of just saying, hey, what are you doing in your life now, and catching up. Like, oh, have you had children? Did you get married? All of that. Being in the moment. So sometimes, Capricorn, you're looking at the bigger picture can have you bringing up the past with other people, and it doesn't serve you. And so the mindset shift is to bring yourself into the moment and to let the past be the past. Nobody wants the past to be brought up. We're not those same people anymore. You're actually a new person every time you wake up each morning. Your consciousness changes, Capricorn, and you can choose to be in this moment, to be in this day now, to leave the past behind and just to move forward. Great advice. Capricorn, what about your feelings? Capricorn, this is about taking charge. Maybe you felt like a bit of a victim, like life is happening to you, you're not really getting what you want. And this is saying, like, you've got all of those resources inside of yourself, Capricorn, and you can take the bull by the horns. You can get determined. You can empower yourself and feel really good and own those resources that you've got inside of yourself and go for it. You can shift that energy within yourself so easily, Capricorn, because you do have this. You can very easily get into that state of determination once you get out of that victimhood, maybe of noticing what is manifesting, what isn't manifesting in your life. So don't look so much at the results of your endeavors yet, Capricorn. Just get in that determination, going for it mode that you can so easily get into, Capricorn, because it serves you really well, Capricorn. Aquarius, what about your mindset? Right. Aquarius, you, being heard by the world in your own individual way, you are heard, but you're not matched very often. And this is true for everybody, but I'm hearing that Aquarius, you take this particularly personally, that people aren't matching you or validating you. And you can't have it both ways, Aquarius. If you want to be quirky and different, you can't then expect everyone to validate you. It's like, if you want to be the rebel, don't expect validation then from everybody, because you choose one or the other. And it's right that you're choosing the rebellious thing. You're here to do that. That's why you're Aquarius. But you've got to forgive them. You've got to let go. You can't expect to be quirky and then everyone follow you. It's not going to happen, Aquarius, because then you won't be quirky. Then you'd have to do the completely opposite, wouldn't you? You know that. So this is about changing your mind about what other people should do. Just be yourself. And when you let go of this, when you forgive people, you're going to attract your tribe, the people that do agree with you then. And it's okay for that tribe to be small, because there's not going to be many of you, Aquarius, and that's okay. You can all co-create together with that tribe. What about your feelings, Aquarius? Yeah, it's your tribe. right? The connections, the right people around you, then you're going to be able to go for it. So you've been going to the wrong people. Yeah, you've been trying to change the wrong people instead of just finding the people that already agree with you, that are already like you. Aquarius. So stop trying to get blood out of a stone. Stop going to the wrong people. One of the examples I give, it's like a butcher trying to sell things to, it's like trying to sell their meat to vegans. It's like, that's the hardest way of going about things, right? You're kind of doing that. You're kind of doing that, Aquarius. You're trying to sell yourself to your meat, and you're trying to sell yourself to vegans. You don't need to do that. You just go and find the people that love meat. Yeah, go and find the people that are already connected to you, and it's like the universe is going to fling open the doors when you do that. Things will just suddenly start working for you. Pisces, finally Pisces. Your mindset, Pisces. Feel it. So your feelings, your thoughts about your feelings. You've been told that you are emotional. You are Pisces. You're very emotional. But you have thoughts and beliefs about yourself and about this emotional aspect of yourself that are working against you at the moment. And so this new moon, it's all about you coming to terms with who you are and it being a gift to you. This is about you accepting that your emotional self is actually really positive. When you learn to trust your feelings and make decisions based on those feelings. So when you're feeling good, go in that direction. When you're feeling bad, draw up a boundary. Draw up a boundary, Pisces. When you're feeling bad, draw up a boundary. Trust your feelings in there. Trust your feelings. Don't just absorb that feeling and feel bad and continue feeling bad. Know that that's your cue to actually make a different decision. Maybe someone's in your life that makes you feel bad and you're just soaking that up and then blaming yourself for being emotional instead of listening to those feelings. It's like, okay, this person isn't good for me. I'll make a clear decision and get them out of my life now, or not hang out with them so much anymore, not get involved so much anymore. Your emotions are a really positive part of yourself, but you need to start using it as feedback, because it is like a superpower that you've got, Pisces. It is. And what about your feelings? You're changing your feelings this new moon. Forgive self. Oh, the weight of the world is on your shoulders, right, Pisces? And it doesn't need to be. You can forgive yourself and you can have a good time. So lighten up on yourself. Let go of that weight of the world on your shoulders, Pisces. You're not here to sort everything out for everybody, make everyone feel good. You can make yourself feel good instead. Start having a good time. Make yourself feel good. Take the pressure off yourself, Pisces. Wow, there we go. So if you like this reading, please click like and subscribe to my channel. Tell me, give me feedback in the comments. How do you like this new format? Does it work for you? Do you like it? Is there any improvements that I can make to it? I'd love to hear from you. And also, I'd very much appreciate it if you could share this video with your friends and on social media and things. Have an amazing new moon. Again, if you'd like a private new moon reading with me, I get them out within 24 hours. You'll find the link up there. And I'll see you next time. Bye.